Jimmy Kimmel hosted just one right-leaning guest in past 3 years, and it came with a condition. Embattled late-night funny man Jimmy Kimmel hosted just one Republican guest on his ratings challenge talk show over the past 3 years, while a study found he made sure nearly all his jokes landed at the expense of conservatives. Before being indefinitely yanked off his Jimmy Kimmel Live this week after making a false claim that conservative activist Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin was a MAGA supporter, Kimmel, 57, welcomed 13 left-leaning guests this year, and no Republicans, media watchdog NewsBusters found. The portion of Kimmel's jokes and gags targeting conservatives surged from 88% in 2023 to 97% this year, the group found. He made 1,128 jokes targeted at President Donald Trump in 2025, far more than anyone else. His next two favorite targets, Trump's former advisor Elon Musk and War Secretary Pete Hegseth, who he slammed 154 and 71 times respectively. By comparison, gaffe-prone former President Joe Biden led all Dems in Kimmel goofs, but somehow managed to be a punchline only 26 times, the group found. Since returning from summer vacation September 2, Kimmel has spent roughly 90 minutes of monologue time over 9 episodes railing against Trump, a post-review of his monologues found. Kimmel, who hosted the ABC show since 2003, has become a shill for the left and a persistent source of boring, unfunny narratives. People I know who have interacted with him also say he's a jerk-off, Trump's longtime political advisor Roger Stone told the Post. Kimmel's greatest crime was that he wasn't funny, and that his rhetoric often veered into the hateful, he added. Kimmel's lone GOP guest in 4 years claimed he had to agree to humiliate himself to get airtime. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, Trump's longtime pal and a major Republican donor, appeared on JKL in 2023, but only after agreeing to spend the entire interview inside an arcade claw machine game because he wasn't vaccinated. Kimmel, however, said he insisted Lindell be in the claw machine because it's hilarious. Of all the colorful, unhinged characters who've come to prominence in the political era of Donald Trump, our next guest is probably the most enthusiastic, Kimmel said on the January 31, 2023 episode. To help him conquer his debilitating fear of machines, we have installed him inside a claw machine for his interview tonight, referring to Lindell's claims about voting machine fraud in the 2020 election. A former Kimmel staffer tried to defend the program by rattling off prominent GOPers who have been on, Senators Ted Cruz, John McCain, Mitt Romney, and Bill Cassidy. Oh, and your king, Donald Trump, was a guest on Kimmel, said Blair Erskine, a writer from 2021 to 2024 on Tex. But Trump's appearance was 10 years ago. Cassidy, the most recent guest, came on in 2017 and was slammed for the GOP's healthcare bill. Former NYC Council Minority Leader Joe Borelli, R. Staten Island, said the NewsBusters data prove without a doubt Kimmel is a liberal hack who was a lot funnier fat. He said, Kimmel decided to be a whiny, pompous liberal who, as his ratings show, clearly turned off even the most passive viewer who once tuned in as background noise while scrolling Etsy in bed. Jimmy Kimmel Live fell to just 1.1 million viewers in August 2025, nearly halved from January's 1.95 million, and trailing behind all of his late-night peers, monthly Nielsen figures show. Republican National Committee spokeswoman Kirsten Pelz accused Kimmel of building his career parroting Democrat talking points to a tiny left-wing fan base. Now Democrats are more enraged over an out-of-touch, washed-up millionaire losing his ABC gig than they were about the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk. This tells you everything you need to know about the Democrat Party. The political imbalance tracks across all late-night shows, NewsBusters found. From September 2022 through June, the group tracked 511 liberal or Democratic guests across late-night TV, compared to just 14 conservatives and Republicans. The study looked at shows hosted by Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, and Jon Stewart. 2 months ago, CBS announced it's canceling Colbert's Late Show in May, citing financial reasons. Curtis Houck, managing editor of NewsBusters, called Jimmy Kimmel Live nothing but partisan sneering. He said, "For a man hailed by friends as someone whose kindness and sincerity are allegedly defining features, his so-called comedy is the opposite." While Stephen Colbert was late-night group therapy for liberals, Kimmel was a daily pep rally for liberals and a source of unearned validation for their land of delusion. Kimmel came under fire after saying on Monday's show the MAGA gang tried scoring political points off Charlie Kirk's savage public execution. He said, "We hit some new lows over the weekend, with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it." On Wednesday, ABC announced it was pulling the show indefinitely. Kimmel's suspension sparked outcry about free speech and government overreach. However, Vice President J.D. Vance said he's not buying it.